Shrink's back in the house. It's been a couple days. You know, it's not easy to think of something, and it's not in the mood. It's not in the mood to do a video. But once again, thanks for all the support that I'm getting from my subs. You know, it means a lot to me, guys. Especially when you send a small donation. That really shows that you value what I'm doing here. You know, and I know I'm an anomaly here. There's no high rate production. There's no multiple components coming in here to talk about. I just never wanted to do that with my channel. Sometimes I'll just be sitting there and something will enter my mind, or something I see or hear will trigger, oh, that's a good topic. Well, a good one for me that, you know, I call them Fleawatt amps. You know, stuff with extremely, extremely low wattage. Now, this is going to raise some backs because there's lots of people out there that say it's the greatest sound in the world, and the 300B tubes, and the 7 watts, and the 8 watts, and the 2 watts, all that stuff. Guys, I've owned them all. I'm not saying every brand. I've owned the topology. I've owned the deckware, you know, the UFO little miniature amp with the 2 watts, and I've owned amps with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 watts. And to be honest, you know, I'll go back to like when a lot of us are getting into this, it's really unintentional. Like, all we're trying to do is go out and buy a nice stereo and listen to music. And then for some people, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm going to upgrade this, I'm going to upgrade that. And it just starts that ball rolling, right? You can go down that road to nowhere. Some are able to stop at some point just due to all the knowledge they've gained and experience. After many years, they realize they're kind of as close to the promised land as they'll ever get, because the perfection doesn't even exist. So what's the point, right? So, you know, I tried these amplifiers, and there's a lot of people saying, you know, oh, they're the best to get the low watts. And I'm like, I'm sorry, guys, not for me. I just say stay away from it. For one reason, when you have this kind of amplification that has no, it really limits the speaker choices that you're going to be able to have in your room. And I've never wanted that. For me, I like to have, I don't know, 100 watts is a really good, I say, average amount of power to have on tap in the house. Because not only, unless you live in a hall or something, right? Not only can you drive things at low volume, you can drive a fair amount of speaker loads with a well-designed 100 watt per channel high current amplifier, right? So it makes your journey, if that's what you're continuing on, which I'm not, that's cool and everything, but it gives you much more ability to try different speakers, right? When you get a Fleawatt amp, like a 2 watt, and you're listening to rock and roll, which I do, or metal, and I listen to all kinds of music, but I'm just saying there comes a time where I like to rock and I want to just get punished in the chair. It isn't going to do it, man. I found them clipping. I mean, these are pretty efficient. I mean, these are 95 dB, but to really get a hold of those drivers, I'm sorry, man, 2 watts is not going to do it. And you're going to have to look for speakers that are in the over 100 dB to really, I just don't understand why you'd want to do that to yourself, though. I just say they're pretty much useless for my style of listening to music. I just always suggest someone get something with ample power that gives you that choice to have a variety of different speakers. You know, and these amps are going for quite a lot of money. I mean, I don't understand that either. Like 2 watts for $2,000. I mean, I always kind of look at that, like, how much am I paying for the watt? Oh, but the first watt is all you need. And okay. Yeah, not me, man. I like those effortless dynamics and bass slam, and I've never ever been able to get that with those kinds of amplifiers. And again, guys, sometimes you can't relate, you know, on paper, if it says 2 watts per channel, 5 watts, 20 watts per channel. Like, for instance, the Line Magnetic, it had so much slam and grunt at a 22 watt per channel rating, because each tube is different in that way. And even solid state, I've had some in here that said they were 200 watts per channel and they were anemic. That could just be false advertising. It could be a poor design. It could be not true high current, no damping. I don't know. But again, you cannot judge anything until you get it in your room, regardless of what's written on paper. And I'll say that again and again and again, and regardless of what so-called reviewer says. Guys, their room's completely different. Their electronics are completely different. You have to look at that. The best way to find out is go on your own journey. Bring your own equipment from the used market in and learn that way. Learn with hands-on, not what other people say, okay? And the safe way to do that's the used market, obviously. You don't want to whistle in the dark and say, I'm going to buy that because everyone says it's great. No, but anyways, I'm not a Fleawatt amplifier fan. I like to have power on tap, not hundreds and hundreds of watts, because I don't have the space where that's needed. But I've always had good results having more power on tap than needed, not less, right? Where you have to get to that maximum area of volume for for it to come to life. But yeah, I just figured it would be a good topic. Fleawatts, exactly what they are, and there's so many out there. Sure, if you're in a little, you have your little third, fourth, fifth system in the office or whatever. Again, guys, I'm a one system person. Sure, I've had two systems, even three, but those were just, I never took them seriously, right? It's the main room right here that I come and listen to my music. But yeah, I mean, if you're thinking about it, again, when we buy something and we have little or no experience, we don't know where we're going to go after we buy that system, whether it's going to be that's it or it's going to start that, which is fine because, many get into that and they end up not being able to stop themselves. And they almost go full circle, like repeating themselves, even buying the same components. It's just absolutely insane because that's what the word means, repeating the same thing, expecting different results. And the thing is that the most powerful thing about all of it is the brain. The brain. The more money I spend, the worse I am on the components. And I know that there's lots of you out there. The expectations go way up, right? So I just had to humble myself and say, okay, this illusion is stronger than I am. So I need to just say surrender and enjoy, right? It's as simple as that. So for all you people, thanks for supporting. It's easy to do. There's a super thanks down there right by the text bar to help support my channel, right? I'm never going to be one of these juggernaut guys because I'm real on YouTube. I don't need subjects provided. I talk from the heart and from my own wisdom. And some get me, and it's awesome. It's great. So anyways, enjoy the long weekend. I'm going to hit the P&E today for the first time in years with my lady companion, I call her. She's a good friend. And love y'all. Like and subscribe.